If you only make the minimum payment on your credit card, you could be in debt for the next 30 years. Not because you're irresponsible, not because you're bad with money, but because the system is mathematically designed that way. Today, I'm going to show you why minimum payments exist, how interest silently multiplies, why banks love when you pay the minimum, and exactly how to escape the trap. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a credit card statement the same way again. Imagine this. You owe $5,000 on your credit card. Your interest rate is 22%. Your statement says minimum payment due $125. That feels manageable. $125. That's a dinner out. That's a gym membership. That's I'll deal with it later money. But here's what they don't highlight in bold. At 22% APR, your interest per month is roughly $5,000 multiplied by 22% divided by 12, which comes out to about $92. That means out of your $125 payment, $92 goes to interest. Only $33 reduces your balance. You feel like you paid something, but your debt barely moved. Here's where it gets dangerous. Minimum payments are usually calculated as 1 to 3% of your balance or interest plus a small principal amount. As your balance goes down, your minimum goes down too. Sounds helpful. It's not. Because when your minimum shrinks, you pay less toward principal. And when you pay less toward principal, interest keeps compounding. Let's say you never use the card again. $5,000 at 22% APR, paying only minimum payments. You could take over 20 years to pay it off, and you wouldn't pay back $5,000. You'd pay closer to $9,000 to $10,000 total, almost double. That extra money, that's the trap. Credit cards are not just financial tools. They're behavioral systems. Minimum payments are designed to reduce pain, keep you compliant, and maximize interest collection. If your statement said full balance due $5,000, you'd panic, you'd act, you'd change something. But when it says minimum payment $125, your brain relaxes. You feel safe. And safety creates inaction. Banks don't need you to default. They just need you to revolve. In the United States alone, revolving credit debt is over $1 trillion. That's not accidental. That's engineered behavior. You've heard compounding makes investors rich. It also makes borrowers poor. When you invest, compounding works for you. When you borrow, it works against you. Let's break it down simply. If you owe $5,000 at 22% APR, Year 1 interest is about $1,100. If you barely reduce principal, Year 2 interest is charged on almost the same amount. It's like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, you're paying, but you're not moving forward. And if you keep using the card, now you're stacking new purchases on top of compounding interest. That's when the treadmill becomes quicksand. Most people don't plan to stay in debt. They say I'll pay more next month. I'll get a bonus. I'll fix it when things calm down. But life doesn't calm down. Expenses appear. Emergencies happen. Income fluctuates. And because the minimum is manageable, you postpone the discomfort. That postponement is profitable. Not for you. For the issuer. Look at your credit card statement carefully. There's usually a small disclosure that says if you make only the minimum payment, it will take X years to pay off and cost you X in interest. Most people never read it. And when they do, the number feels abstract. 10 years, 15 years, 25 years. That's not a plan. That's a sentence. This isn't about intelligence. Doctors fall into it. Lawyers fall into it. Engineers fall into it. Why? Because high income does not equal high liquidity. Lifestyle inflation eats raises. Subscriptions stack. Car payments stretch. Mortgages expand. Credit fills the gap between lifestyle and cash flow. and minimum payments make that gap feel survivable, until it's not. Now let's talk about power. Step 1. Stop adding to the balance. No new charges, period. Step 2. Ignore the minimum. Look at the total balance. Look at the APR. Step 3. Calculate your real minimum. A powerful rule is to pay at least 2 to 3 times the minimum payment. If the minimum is $125, pay $300 to $400. Now most of your payment hits principal. Your timeline collapses dramatically. Step 4. Target the highest APR first. This is called the Avalanche method. Or if you need psychological momentum, pay the smallest balance first. That's the Snowball method. Both work. Minimum payments don't. Here's a mindset shift. Instead of asking, "What's the minimum I owe?" ask, "How much interest did they charge me this month?" If the answer is $92, make sure you pay way more than $92, because if you don't beat the interest, you don't beat the system. Your payment must overwhelm the interest. Otherwise, you're just feeding it. Balance transfer. 0% APR for 12 months. Sounds like relief. And it can be if used strategically. But here's the trap. People treat 0% as permission to relax. They don't aggressively pay it down, and when the promo ends, rates jump to 20% or more. Now you're back in the same cycle, just with a different card. Promotions are tools, not solutions. The cost isn't just financial, it's mental. Constant low-grade stress, background anxiety, avoided statements, delayed decisions. Debt occupies mental bandwidth. When you remove it, clarity returns. Freedom isn't dramatic, it's quiet. It's the absence of that monthly knot in your stomach. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Minimum payments are not designed to help you. They're designed to extend you. And if you keep paying the minimum, your debt doesn't end. It just lingers, quietly, expensively, indefinitely. So the real question is not, can I afford more than the minimum? The real question is, can I afford not to? Because every month you choose the minimum, you choose the longest possible timeline, and the most expensive one. If this changed how you think about credit cards, subscribe. Because most financial traps aren't obvious. They're subtle, they're normalized. They're hidden in plain sight. And once you see them, you can't unsee them.